Good morning, sunshine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa! Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with breathe air. There's no second best, okay?
GM. Today is Monday, 12th of August, trade of the day. So, look at Bitcoin here. I think, like I said on daily levels, I think it's more likely to be bearish right now. Prices came into the 58k pivot level over here, the February 2021 highs, as it has done so often. But I don't see much that would fill me with confidence. I think that bounce this morning was more of a function of just dipping down into that previous demand zone and reacting straight off it. The bounce since then has been, at least usually, when you see this kind of move up and it exhausts and it runs back to that, that's going lower. So my hunch would be that Bitcoin goes lower. I think that as it goes down, if it goes down, you've got areas below. And once it started to, basically once it failed over here, once it failed to hold this area, that became the clearest bull bear line. Because price tried to break through that on Friday multiple times, and then it tried to hold it on Sunday, and it gapped down through it with two strong selling candles. I think any retest you get of that level later on will be an important one. We might see that as, I actually think usually this might go a bit lower first and then have some kind of move up into it if it's going to do that. But regardless, blue line would be the inefficiency. So that'll be moving all the way back down to fill in the move from last Wednesday. And of course below that, you're looking at a much deeper correction back down probably towards the lows, towards 53. And if that level can't hold, you've got all this gap all the way down to 51, which I think we will eventually round trip this move and go back for what we said a while back, just retest. Whether it's going lower or not, whether it's bearish or bullish, just retest. And I think quite simply now what you're seeing is the market has run out of steam. The opportunity, one of these moves, that to me is a very clear sign of weakness, because normally you would quite easily see a sweep. And if you don't see a sweep, it's a sign of even more weakness. Like here, the price sells off, it first comes up, tries to break higher, down we go. Same, even over here, right? It's able to sweep it, to grab, even over here. It has the top, comes up, double top slash sweeps the highs. This one, extreme weakness. So I think the rally's done, the automatic bounce is done. I think we go back and we retest some of these areas below. And my directional bias would be to the downside, but there's some inefficiencies above, some areas that can get retested. Like here, that breakdown is untested so far. And over here from Sunday, we had a move that we swept out some highs and straight down with no bounces really. So there's an area all the way back up there whether you want to take that untested part, the gap. There's plenty of room for a rally in the opposite direction. I don't think it will happen soon. There's no real reason for it to happen because the market's just weak. It's just straight up weak. But I also don't think we're going to go straight back down to 50. So in between here, the way it should move is down and down and down and down, right? And what will probably happen is you could see anywhere along here, you could see a move up into this gap, you could see a move up into there, you could see more of a sideways, choppy, directionless PA in between. My view though would be, as it has now failed at the 63 area and is starting to move lower, I think it's going to fill all this in eventually. So directionally, my trading bias would be to the downside until that retest happens, or until there's some clear sign of trend shifting, which is really going to be like getting back above 62, even 63. So there's a lot of work for it to do that. So for today, I don't know about trades, like Monday itself specifically. I mean, it's flat since we opened, slightly red day. I wouldn't be a big fan of shorting into this, given that we've left behind a lot of inefficiencies above, and we could You could see price coming straight below here and taking out today's low and then rallying hard, and that might actually set up one of your better trades. You might not get it, but I would much rather short up here. I'd much rather short 60 if it squeezed up into it after sweeping some lows. And I wouldn't class that. Depends how it moves here, but I wouldn't class that as a reclaim either. Depends how it moves though. So a lot of this, I'll keep it updated in trading analysis throughout the day, because this move in this market will change a lot. That's about it. It's only Monday, start of the week. The weekly candles barely moved. The daily candles barely moved. Not really a place to have major positions. Some scalps, some day trades, sure, but I think the better trades will come later in the week. We've got a lot of economic data. We've got PPI tomorrow, inflation. You've got CPI on Wednesday. You've got something else on Thursday, unemployment, isn't it? Or retail sales. And that's probably going to bring more of the movement into the market. So I suspect Monday might be a choppy, directionless day. And we'll see where it goes now. Oh yeah, by the way, close my swing long. So I got swing long on BTC on this breakout. And then I compounded it and added it and moved my invalidation up to 58 to around this area here to the previous breakout. And so when it came down overnight, it closed, it stopped out, and I have no interest in re-entering. Reason being is that the trade I was taking was based on a trend. And it was based on this trend continuing without any significant pullback. Now this pullback may well just be a bullish pullback and it consolidates and we hold and we go higher. That's fine. But for the trade I'm in, the trade I'm in failing and going back to this 58k level at this point means, first of all, it should be closed, so it's closed. I have no positions. Secondly, it's more likely that this rally has ran out of steam and we go all the way back. So even though holding above 58, I do think it can push towards 63, right? It's not a trend to me. I would suspect at this point that if it does push back up, you might take the highs out, but then you still reject. I think this move ends somewhere in this area, and so I don't want to be swing long under that basis because I don't think it's bullish, and I don't want to sit in counter trend trade. Right, we've got a downtrend. I don't want to be going against that unless it had the momentum, and the momentum was lost there over the weekend going into today. So for now, neutral. No directional bias. Market seems pretty directionless as well. And we'll see how the first couple of days of the week go. GM.